a lot of times you feel like, okay, I'm doing the right thing. I'm doing good. And then all of a sudden you're like, wait, am I being a bad parent? Am I helping them strive to be successful?
Yeah. How do you not think that? Of course. Every day I think that.
Yay Networks.
Hey guys, episode 34. I rushed back home. Leighton had tutoring today, and I got my black coffee. Y'all would be so proud of me. I said this on the last podcast. I did not cheat. I did not drink when we were in the mountains. Everybody thought I would crack because everybody was having beers. Because that's kind of what you want to do when you're up in the mountains. It's cold. Everybody likes having beers, playing games, things like that. And I think I might go a whole year without it. I'm not going to say, my friends listening right now are probably like, no, because we have some events coming up this summer, birthday parties and things like that. But I think I like the way I feel, and I'm a much better person when I'm not drinking. And I think I think COVID kind of set in, what's the word I'm looking for? Like routine.
Yeah.
Oh, okay. Maybe we'll just have a glass of wine here. We'll have another glass of wine here.
A bad routine.
Yeah, bad routine.
Yeah.
And you get in these habits, and I kind of need to break those habits. And like I said, I like the way I feel. I like the way my skin looks. I just feel like I'm more clear-headed.
I get it. I think that's the new thing. I think a lot of people...
You told me that.
Yeah, a lot of people are going, like our producer said, sober curious.
Yeah.
That's like the word. And I saw it on Vanderpump Rules because I love that show. But one of the Toms is like, hey, I'm a little sober curious, but tonight I'm going to drink, you know? So, but a lot of people are going sober and they're seeing the benefits, especially coming off a dry January. I was like, you know what? I could go without drinking, you know, like, because I feel good and I worked out every day and I felt good. So I think, I don't know, maybe it's our age or maybe it's just society kind of shifting into a different era. And I think there's a lot of those weed drinks out now. It's not like you're getting high and stuff. They're just like small dosages or something to help you fall asleep, you know? Mm-hmm. And a lot of those are becoming really popular now with people.
Because you don't have a hangover.
Exactly. And you're so much more productive. Like, you know, when you're in your 20s, you know, you're going to live forever and you can do whatever you want. So you drink and do whatever. But, you know, I'm 45 and it's like, it slows me down. Like if I drink back to back, that Sunday, like when I came back from the mountains, it was hard to get in the gym, you know? Mm-hmm. I worked out Friday, but then it's like, man, but then if you're just, you know, it's nothing like working out on like a Friday night or Saturday night, just thinking back, like, what would I be doing 20 years ago right now? And now I'm like bettering myself. So you start to focus on yourself is what I'm saying.
Yeah. I remember before we had Lawson, we'd be in California. Going out started, I think, at 10:30. Everybody started at their apartment at 10. I don't even know
who that guy is anymore.
And then we would be out till 2, 3 in the morning and stop by that taco truck.
on Santa Monica.
No, on Wilshire. On Wilshire. And we would always stop and get those
That dude
tacos.
had the best tacos.
Yes, hands down. I wonder if he's still there.
I don't know, but that guy was like straight from Mexico.
He had the best tacos.
Cilantro and onion and his homemade sauce.
Oh,
dude,
so good.
And he'd give it to go plates just on paper plates and wrap it in saran wrap.
I don't think we ever ate those tacos sober, though. What if they were bad and we just thought they were amazing because we were always just drunk all the time?
Man, don't ruin it for me. That could be true, too. No, they were awesome. I like the very simple street tacos, like cilantros and onion and things like that.
It was so good. But we're going to Great Wolf Lodge this weekend, and you tried on a pair of swim trunks because I told Jeff, I'm like, you're getting in the water with the kids. And
oh God, I gotta take a bath in peroxide when I get out of there.
You put on those shorts and you look so good.
Oh, thanks.
Yeah, you're back fat. Imagine if you were spray tanned, you would look even thinner.
I know
from spray tan. We talked about this already.
Yeah, we already talked about that. I'm
giving you a compliment. I'm being nice.
You could drink the water at Great Wolf Lodge and get drunk.
Drink my black coffee.
Dude, the people watching at Great Wolf Lodge, we'll have some stories for when we get back. So
yeah, for sure.
Yeah, to put this in reference, it's Thursday, and this is going to come out Wednesday. And we're going to Great Wolf tomorrow. But every time we've went, have we talked about this at all?
Yeah, I think so.
we're gonna
We'll talk about it when we get back.
we'll talk about it when we get back. But it's kind of like, so far, the Great Wolf has not been great to us.
So we're giving it one more
Right.
go.
And it's like, I'm going to change my attitude, just like I had to do with the airport, because I'd go into the airport hot and then always have problems. And was it the airport or was it my attitude going in?
Maybe
I had
your
to work it out. Maybe it was my attitude. So I'm going to go into the Great Wolf howling and having some fun. Now I am going to have a couple cocktails. I'm not going to be sober curious.
You've been doing good, working out. I did want to say, I forgot to say this. This was good news this week. I knew my dad. So my dad had prostate cancer, right? I always get it confused. Prostate, pancreatic, prostate. He had prostate. And I think 6 months ago, I believe it was 6 months ago, they told him that he was cancer-free. So he just went in for his test, and I knew he was nervous because I didn't hear from him for a couple days, and both my parents I'm super close with, so I always just know. I just know them, and he called me yesterday, and it's still no sign of cancer, so that was a good thing. That was some good news.
Nice.
I know that's random, but I just wanted to throw that in there.
Nice.
Yeah, so he was happy. And then one other thing I wanted to talk about.
Shout out to the Big Sex.
Yeah, Big Sexy. He's not really Big Sexy anymore. He's medium sexy. That's what we call him now. So my dad, and he wouldn't care that I shared this.
Where were we? I forgot. We were out somewhere real fast. And I go, hey, Big Sexy, what do you want? And the guy's like, I'll take a Coke. And he's like at the other table. And he's like, I thought you were talking to me, but he was like joking. But then I got confused and I was like, oh my God, that was funny.
Yeah.
I missed it. Anyways, that was a dumb joke.
My dad was... Well, I think when he got his cancer, that's when, and a lot of his friends, my dad's in his 60s.
By the way, we call him Big Sexy.
I know, and people...
If you didn't know that.
Well, people write me and will be like, that's gross, you call your dad Big Sexy. I'm like, his boss came up with that, and now we have all of our friends call him that. And my dad's name is Jeff, too.
Yeah, so you need a separation.
Yeah,
and even everyone we know is like, oh, Big Sexy's in town?
Yeah.
Like, it's like, his name is Bob. You know, he just like rolls off the tongue.
Right.
Yeah.
And
sorry, go ahead.
He wouldn't care if I shared this, but he was almost 300 pounds. I've always known my dad is like a bigger guy, so I never thought of him as being overweight because that is just my dad. You know how you have family members like that where if they're always overweight, you're just like, oh, but that's my dad. Like if you're skinny, you're not my dad. Like you're a big guy.
And if you're Big Sexy, you can't.
Yeah. So my dad, a lot of his friends were passing from heart attacks and things like that. And so he really took his health serious. And my dad is a type 2 diabetic. So he is on Mounjaro, which helped him lose. He's lost almost, I think, like 100 pounds. He's back to the weight he was when I was in high school. So he looks good. And when he's here, because he was a bigger boy, he used to like crank the air and like you're free. Like I'm freezing right now. That's why I have this cardigan over me. And we would freeze. And now he's the one freezing. And I'm not used to seeing him with these little legs. Like he's got little legs. And I'm like, I'm not used to seeing you like skinny. To me, he's skinny. You know, if you were almost 300 pounds and now you're you're like 215, you know, he looks amazing. And we're all going to Mexico. So that's his drive. He's like, oh, I just played tennis today. You know, I'm going to look good for Mexico.
Well, good. Whatever it takes for anyone to stay in shape.
Yeah.
You know, like you need a little motivation. Maybe sometimes you need something to scare you. You know, that really kicks somebody in the ass here and there. Not saying that's what happened to him, but...
No, he did get scared.
Yeah,
because he had friends that just had heart attacks and just died.
Yeah, so you put all that together and it really like makes you think about what's important.
For
you
sure.
know, and that same with your drinking. You're like, I just feel good. You know?
Yeah,
It's like,
and I have, ever since COVID, I've said this before, I think I have anxiety issues now. I never did before. And drinking, it really makes my anxiety worse. And since I haven't been drinking, I can drink so much coffee and I am completely fine. And I don't feel like I'm about to have a panic attack. Is that not?
I drink a handful of times.
You will drink
since
a
the new
coffee
year.
before you go work out. I think that is so weird.
What?
How you can drink a coffee before you go work out.
I told you. I got
you did that
test done. I don't know. I don't think I told the audience, but I got this test done, and it was like in 2016, I think it was, because I just found the results, and it was this job. I don't even know what it's for. I don't know. They take your blood work and they run through all of it, and they tell you what you're vitamin deficient in, and it explains everything. And they call you after. And I actually did like a modeling job, even though I was kind of not I was kind of like chubby, and I was embarrassed because I remember I had to be in a pool and they were taking pictures of me. I'm like, I'm in no shape to be doing this. So anyways, so I did that job. So I did it for free. They paid me and they gave me a free, what are you laughing at?
I'll tell it when you're done telling your story. It made me think of something.
My back fat?
Jeff was in a music video, and
Oh boy! All right.
you gotta watch it. It's so cringy.
By the way, we showed that music. Oh, I'll tell the whole story.
You showed that on Daily Boss Live,
dude. They show it once a week. Any chance they get, they put that video
Jeff's
on.
in the shower with this girl.
Hold on, I'll come back to that.
It's like you're being sensual, and Michaela, really watch
okay,
it.
hold on.
It's so embarrassing.
I'll come back to that. I've never told that story, but if you watch Daily Blast Live, you've definitely seen it.
Okay, go.
By the way, I have a million stories. We're just going to go all over the place today. What was I saying? So that vitamin deficiency test, one of the things on there is your caffeine intake, and all body types are different. And so the person calls you after to explain everything in the test, and they're like, hey, are you a type of person who could have a cup of coffee and go to bed? I'm like, absolutely. They're like, your caffeine intake, your body really absorbs it quickly. So they're like, we're telling you that because later on in life, there's some medicines that involve caffeine, and you're going to, what are you laughing at?
Nothing.
The music video? This is serious.
Okay, go. I'm listening. I'm serious.
So they said your medicine, later on in life, there's some medicine that contains caffeine, and I can't even look at you now. And you're going to have to get the doctor to, don't just nod your head like you pretending you care. Listen, it's not even that important. I just want to get it out now. And anyways, there's some medicine, so they need to up my dosage because my body absorbs caffeine. So I don't even know how we started on this, but I could drink a lot of caffeine.
I need to have that test done.
Well, do you get shakes and stuff? I don't. I drink a coffee, then on the way to work, I started on these Celsius things that have a lot of caffeine. And then after our first meeting, we do a show, and then I'll have another cup of coffee. Yeah, so I crank caffeine all day.
All right, now let's hear about this music video.
Oh boy.
You got 2 minutes, 3 minutes.
Okay.
Hear the story.
All right. Listen, this is, whatever. It's it was my first job in LA, or one of them. You're such a dick. Listen, so anyways, I got this, where do I start? I don't even know half the story. Whatever, you get agents, you go on auditions, and then there was this music video audition, right? And I was working, oh man, I don't even remember. I remember that it was Auto Models. That was my first modeling agency in Los Angeles.
Were you like, yes, I made it?
Well, it was above Cabo Cantina. If you ever went, now it's not. The Cabo Cantina is still there. It's on Sunset Boulevard, but this was right above Cabo Cantina. So I don't know if anyone even gets the reference, but it was called Auto Models. I remember that. And so they needed this music video, right? And the girl's name is Ellie Venn. What the song is, Ooh Baby or something. I don't know. It's really cheesy. Okay, I feel bad because I don't know what happened to Ellie Venn, but I was in the video and I'm in it a lot. So I play her limo driver, and oh my god. Anyways, it's not even embarrassing because I've seen this video 10,000 times.
The way you look back,
dude, it's the limo. Wait, did I tell you my buddy Alex? Okay, so. When I look back, I had a wink in this one part after I put this CD in. It's the worst. It's honestly the worst. And my buddy at work took that picture of me looking back and winking, and he put it on a T-shirt. He made a T-shirt. He made his own T-shirt of it. And my friends still text me that to this day, me looking. Well, I don't know what I was doing. But I played a limo driver, and then I'm driving her somewhere, and then we end up just having sex, but we don't have sex, but we're in the bed rolling around and stuff, and then I'm in the shower with her, and then I'm jumping in a pool, and all of a sudden this karate dude shows up, and he's doing karate moves in the background. It was a 2-day shoot. This was like a big deal.
Did
but
you
it's
feel
so
like
crazy.
you made it? Were you like, yes, I booked a music video?
No, it was pretty wild. It was pretty wild. Let's take a quick break here, and then I'll come back and fill in the details, and then we'll definitely move on to something else.
Okay.
All right.
Welcome back.
While we were on that short break, our producers already looked up the music video, so enjoy that. And they already screenshotted that look back. Oh my God, that's so bad. I can never live it down. But you know what? At this point in my life, I'm proud of it. That's where I came from. You know what I mean? Anyway, so let me fill in some blanks here. So a lot of people ask me, man, how did you do that love scene and stuff on there? There's like 20 people on set when you're like kissing and stuff. And then there's a rule. I learned all this like on set. You don't use your tongue. Like, I know it sounds gross, but you don't, when you're making out. I'm talking to my wife about this. So I'll skip over that part.
I don't care.
I know.
Just keep going. Tell everybody.
We were in the shower, there's a shower scene, and she was wearing pasties, you know, and it looks like I'm naked, but I had swim trunks on. And the shower, you couldn't have the shower actually on because it hit the glass, the shower that we were in. So they put a hose from the outside, and the hose was ice cold. It was freezing cold. So when they're like about to shoot, they're like, all right, we're going to put the water on your back. All right, Jeff? And I was like, yeah. And it was so cold. And then I did pretend like it was like a nice hot shower. And like we're naked and we're like feeling each other, you know? And but so everyone's like, man, whatever happened to that? I'm like, trust me, it wasn't as comfortable as it looks. Then there's a scene where I'm in the bathtub and she's like giving me a massage. Oh my God. People out there are like, what are you talking about? I'm trying to race through this story.
What'd your mom say about this?
I know. I'm so proud of you. I'm glad you went to LA. At the time, I was like just happy to get a job. So she was supposed to be in the tub, but she dropped like a pane of glass on her foot and she had to get stitches. It was like this whole thing, man. It was at this house, you know, there were some people running around that I wasn't sure of.
Didn't you say it was awkward because her
boyfriend
was there when you were in the shower?
Yeah, her boyfriend was there, yeah.
And you're like, oh my God, this is weird.
Yeah, and I remember there was some like questions being asked, and I was like, no, I'm just going to get out of here, you know, after we wrapped. And then I went back to Spanish Kitchen after, because that's where I used to work at the time. And I went back, and everyone's like, how was the video? I'm like, dude, that was wild, dude. It was a wild 2 days. And then the music video came out. Now it's like classic. I told you. I mean, listen, you got to start somewhere. You know what I mean?
Yeah, and you did.
You're such an asshole. Listen, I'll take the shots.
No, I'm joking. Like I said,
it's funny now. It's
Oh,
fun.
it's
and like
so
I said,
funny.
if you looking into the background of it, like every scene was like a story. It was so.
We got off Big Brother, and I remember, I think we were drunk, and you're like, I did this music video.
Yeah, because I did that when I was like 23 or 4 when I first moved to LA.
Yeah, and I remember watching it being like, ew. Not because of like the sex stuff. I would just remember being like, Jeff, this is so low production cheesy.
It was.
But like, have you seen that video of Post Malone that's out? I sent it to you. I didn't even know it was Post Malone. It was him, I guess, with his first single. I don't even know if he had a signed record or what. Sounds.
I think I did. That was really him? I thought that was a joke.
No, wait, Michaela and Riley would know. I think that's real.
Oh, is it?
I think it was really him.
Oh, it looked like him.
I feel so dumb if I said it wasn't him. I think it's him. I think the reason why it doesn't look like him is because he didn't have all the tattoos.
Yeah, but
yet.
his hair is looks like Neil Diamond's, doesn't it?
I'm pretty sure it was him. Oh, if it's fake, I'll feel silly. But I thought I sent it to you because I know you like Post Malone.
But whatever.
Everybody's got stories. I think Brad Pitt, doesn't he have a story like he was in a costume?
He was the El Pollo Loco chicken.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So, I mean, you all got to start somewhere. But, okay.
Good comparison.
Shifting gears.
Yeah, what are we going to shift to? I don't know how we went down that road from a caffeine pill to me being in a cold shower.
But hopefully everybody watching and listening goes straight
up those
to
views.
Go straight to that music video. I think that's hilarious that DBL shows that all the time.
They show it all the time. all the time. Any chance they get. We all have an embarrassing video on that show, you know, that we bounce back to.
Oh,
like if you watch Sam, one of the head anchors got one where she closes the door with her hip and she's like in a bikini. Al is on that dating show. Remember back in the day, like pop-up video dating or whatever?
Really?
Yeah, Al's on that. Tori did this thing. Again, if you don't know what we're talking about, this is the host on Daily Blast Live. Tori did this thing where she was Madonna in Japan. It's so it's super embarrassing. Yeah, and she assaults this. She tries to make out with this guy.
Didn't you say that Bert? You had something to say to Bert?
Oh, Bert. So our executive producer, again, you don't watch Daily Blast Live, I'm talking over your heads here. But Bert's he did the Jerry Springer show, Sally Jesse Raphael, and he was actually just away this weekend. I shouldn't be talking about him, but he went to go meet with Sally and a couple of his other friends. Mark Summers, who's a friend of our show, has a show on off Broadway now.
Okay.
You know, so he went there to regroup with a bunch of his old friends, but he just got back today. And I don't think anyone like really listens to this show, you know? And, you know, we get compliments here and there. And my boss is like, I go away for a couple of days and I come back and I just see clips of you talking about farts and stuff on Instagram from our last social media clips. So like everything I put out there, like people see.
Yeah, they do. I love Jeff's boss, Bert. He has turned Daily Blast Live into what it is, and he's a very good producer. He's like an old school. And tell this before we switch gears, because a lot of people don't know this. Sally Jesse Raphael wore the red glasses because of Bert.
Right. Yeah.
Do you know the story?
He told me a bunch of times. They just interviewed him. Oh, I don't want to give away too much, but Bert, man, he is like a legend in the television business. Like I said, he started that Jerry Springer stuff. He not intending, again, I don't want to speak for him, but not intending for it to go where it went, and it kind of just went into that crazy whole thing, you know? Mm-hmm. And then the Sally thing. I mean, he's got stories for everybody. He was like kind of that guy. He was the guy that everyone wanted to be with back in the day, you know? And it's cool that he's with us now. Like, he's our producer on set, and he's super chill and easy and lets us be us. And that's really cool to have a boss like that, you know, that knows the business so well that he's comfortable letting the host be who they are.
And he cares.
Oh, yeah, yeah.
It's not like if you're upset about something, because people who watch you get fired up sometimes. And if you're upset, he'll check on you.
For sure.
He's a old school guy. I like him. Okay, but switching gears, what's going on?
I spilled.
You got ice down your cracks?
Yeah.
Okay, so last week I was talking about being upset, and it wasn't just Jeff and I fighting. It was just, there was like a lot of stuff going on, family stuff, things that I don't need to share. But also it kind of brought up this subject to me. Do you ever feel like you failed as a parent? And that was me last week. I was like really emotional. I think being on my period made it heightened with my emotions. But I really felt like I failed as a parent, because you want the best for your kids. And if people are not communicating to you about school or about things they're learning, and if they're behind, you don't know. You just assume you drop your kid at school and they're getting the help they need. And I was like really stressed out because with Leighton, you know, the teacher informed me on some things, and I was upset, mad, but how do I explain it, Jeff? Because I felt like I failed him because I wasn't getting the help he needed, but I assumed that he was getting help at school for learning. And then, I don't know, like just being a parent sometimes can be so hard, because when you have little ones and babies and you're not getting much sleep, and you're like, wait, am I doing the right thing with my baby? Or if your kid's sick, am I doing the right thing? Or learn things with learning and school, am I doing the right thing? And it's like all these choices, and sometimes it can like weigh on you, and you can just have like an emotional breakdown. And that's happened to me. Like Lawson's doing great in school and excelling, and it's because he is such a wonderful teacher. I love her. She communicates with you. She's I just can't say enough great things about her. And Lawson's kindergarten teacher last year was so awesome. And I think that we're pretty chill with we let the teachers do their thing. We don't get involved. But when they come to us and they're like, hey, I don't know, I'm making up. Lawson is struggling, let's say, in math with this. Make sure when you go home that you work with him on this.
No, but that happens, like with the spelling, right?
Yeah, we
Just
do that. But then, like with Leighton, I felt like, because I do baby him some, that I'm like, oh, like I messed up on this, and maybe this is why he is behind. And then I just like beat myself up about things.
All right, we totally switched gears here, but this is actually what we were coming on to talk about.
Yeah, this is what we were coming to talk about in the first place before we got on the music video and everything else.
Yeah, because it's something that we're going through, and I think, we talked 2 weeks ago that we kind of had a little rough patch for that week, and it was partly because of the kids and the moral of the story, that we're not done here, but is communication, right? You got to communicate with each other. You got to communicate with the kids' teachers. You got to communicate and be on the same page and know what's going on. That's how you fix any problem. Right. But I think to answer, and I don't have the answer to your question, and I'm not trying to talk down. I want to make sure I'm just giving our story when we talk about things like this, because I hate people telling me how to parent, or I'm doing something wrong, or I need to do this and do that. I like advice. I don't like being talked down to. Do you know what I mean? And I don't want to make it seem like I'm talking down to anyone, or this is what you need to do with your kid. This is what we need to do with our kid. And we're doing the best that we can with our two boys, So Leighton, we just found out that he might be a little behind, right? Which is fine. We got the same news with Lawson, and they said he needed some extra help. And again, when someone says something about your kids, you're a parent, you're protective of it. So the first time they told me, just with Lawson, they were like, Lawson needs special ed. And I got upset, and I was like, what are you talking about? He needs special ed. I thought everything was going fine. It turns out, again, communication. Special ed wasn't what special ed was when I was in school. Special ed, when I was in school, the people that were in special ed were different, right? They took different buses to school, everything. And it was like, when they told me that, I'm like, what are you talking about? I didn't see any of those signs. And I kind of got upset with these poor, nice teachers that are just trying to help. And they're like, no, it doesn't mean what it used to mean. I'm like, well, maybe name it something else if you're going to drop that, right? But what I'm trying to say is, all it was he just needed extra help, 20 minutes a day or a week.
Yeah, where they just take
small.
him out of class just to work on little things that, like I said, he was struggling with.
Right.
And once they did that, everything.
And of course, now looking back, it was just the shock of like, I don't know, you don't want to hear any bad things about your kids, because then you look inward and you're like, did I do something wrong? Did we do something wrong? You as a teacher, you want to start pointing fingers, right? And it wasn't that at all. It was like, take a breath. He just needs a little extra help. And now it's amazing. Come in and help him anytime he wants, because he's doing great. And the point of this story is that I think with Leighton,
he needs a push.
And we kind of knew, but it was the first time we actually heard it from his teacher.
I think it's the way it was said.
When, again, the people who told us that in the first place with Lawson, I mean, you could tell I was upset, right, in that room. So that's what I'm saying with Leighton. You were a little more taken back. And I was like, well, we're just going to get him extra help. First of all, Leighton's in pre-K. Right?
Yeah. No, my thing was...
I get what you're saying, but it's just shocking is what...
Like, when it was fall conferences, everything was fine. And then now, I'm like, between fall conferences and spring conferences are coming up. Did you just say it because spring conferences are coming up? Why was nothing communicated with me that when I could have done my part and got extra? So anyways, after I had that conversation... I got Leighton with the tutor at the school he's going to be at now. I have someone else coming in the class helping Leighton. And now I feel so much better because I'm like, okay, I'm helping him. Like, I just felt like I almost neglected him.
I know what you mean.
And that made me upset. Yeah, and that made me really mad.
When you first told me that on the phone, I have to control my emotions, right? I got pissed. And I was like, hold on a second. This is what happened with Lawson. Let's pump the brakes. I went to some like teacher store and got him a bunch of like ABC stuff, and so he could recognize, all the magnets and games, and he loves animals with the letters. So I got him just a ton of stuff so we could do our part at home. And it helps, like a little extra help in school, whatever he's lacking in, and then us filling in that hole at home. And it's like, you could only do so much, right? I'm sure we could do more, but without burning him out and without making him feel, because already I went a little hard, like, hey, check this out, buddy, let's do this. And he gets overwhelmed.
Yeah, right. And they told me, don't do that.
Right. So
I'm always with the teachers. I'm always with the teacher side. Teachers work so hard and they have the hardest job. It's just the communication, and there's been wonderful teachers. Like, we've been very blessed with wonderful teachers.
Yeah.
So I'm not saying it's the teacher's problem.
No, it's definitely not.
It's a lack of communication on both sides.
All right, let's take a little break. Yeah? And then we'll come back.
Yeah? Yeah, hon?
You know what I'm saying? All right, we'll be right back.
Welcome back. Yeah, it's just being a parent can be so hard. Even disciplining your kids. It's just kids are so different, and people ask me all the time, how do you discipline? And Lawson hates getting in trouble. He cries if like we yell at him. Because he doesn't want us to be disappointed, and he listens. Normally we tell Lawson, go upstairs, no PlayStation, you take iPads away, and Lawson listens. Leighton, on the other hand, will argue with you. Leighton is like me. He's got to get the last word in.
He's our youngest one. Yeah.
Yes. Leighton will have to get the last word in before he goes up the steps to make you mad, to make you more mad. That's what he does to me. But then he can be so sweet. Like today, he was like pulling my hair like this, but he was watching a movie and he was like twisting my hair, and he's like, I love you, Mom. And he's like, you're my best friend, But then Leighton is shy. That's the youngest. And Lawson is more social. He's the oldest. He plays sports. Leighton, on the other hand, wants to do art. He wants to draw. He wants to paint. Doesn't want anything to do with sports. But we haven't really tried with sports, but I don't want to make him feel forced like he's got to do it.
Yeah. It's just crazy how different kids are. And I think everyone who has more than one kid could kind of relate to that, because it's just amazing how different they are, or how one takes after me and one takes after you. It's just how that works out is amazing to me.
I was the same way when I was younger. I was very shy, only wanted to be with my mom. I did not want my mom. I hated preschool. I cried the whole year in kindergarten. The school told my mom she was not allowed to come have lunch with me.
That's Leighton.
Yeah, I know. Yeah. And I was the same exact way, and I did not get out of my shell till third grade. I feel like third, fourth grade, I really got out of my shell and got more social. But before that, if my mom signed me up for like some type of club,
right,
and there were other kids there, and I didn't know kids from my neighborhood, I would just curl up, not be social, would not talk to anybody. And I feel like that's exactly how Leighton is. My sister, on the other hand, my mom would sign me up for this dance stuff, like cheerleading, and I was never good at that. And my sister would she could talk to anybody, and I was always off to the side and was like, no friends. If I didn't know you, I wouldn't talk to you. And that's Leighton.
Yeah, exactly.
So hopefully, I'm hoping it's just like a phase and he gets out of it. And by the time he gets to school, he'll open up. But Leighton, a lot of times, like Leighton doesn't have that many friends. Like Lawson has a lot of friends. I feel like people follow Lawson around, and Leighton, he'll just sit with you and I.
Yeah. Yeah. So I think getting them involved in something is for me it is. Again, do whatever you want. But for me, like some sort of community. It doesn't have to be the football team. It could be whatever. So I just looked at, like, we have a lot of recreation centers around us, and they have a lot of art classes because he's into art. And that's cool. Whatever he's into, I'm into. You know what I mean? So if he wants to go down the arts road, whether it be in theater or things like that, that's cool. Because when I was a kid, I love sports, but I didn't even know that was an option for me. And look at what I do in my life now. I think I've shared that story, but it's like for kids now, they literally could do whatever they want, and so many options and so many opportunities out there. I just want to get him involved in whatever it is he's interested in, because I think community is very important in their development socially and things like that.
For us, and anybody, I am not judging anyone if this is what you do. For us, I'm speaking in this house, I don't want Leighton on his iPad all the time. Like, I don't want him, because I see him.
I think everyone could agree with that.
Well, I know, but other people would be like, everybody's always got something to say. I'm not judging any parent that does that, because
I qualified that many times.
I know, but like when we go to a restaurant, we're like, here's your iPad.
Who doesn't? Yeah, of course. Shut up. I want to eat this in peace.
But the kid, like Leighton, I notice him more so now since he doesn't have as many friends. He watches YouTube a lot, which I don't like, because
it's also winter time too. So I don't get too scared about not too many friends, because he's not really interested in PlayStation, and it's wintertime. When summertime comes, we have a lot of kids in this neighborhood. He's very social with everybody. There's nothing there that scares me, like he's not developing the way he should. Everything is on track. I think it's just they're two different kids, and we got to find out.
They're so different. But that's what I'm saying. Like with parenting, it's so hard, because a lot of times you feel like, okay, I'm doing the right thing. I'm doing good, and then all of a sudden you're like, wait, am I being a bad parent? Am I helping them strive to be successful?
Yeah, how do you not think that? Of course, every day I think that, man, am I doing every choice I make, I'm like, am I leaving my kids out? Is it okay if I go here by myself? You know what I mean? It's like you feel guilty, but you can't do that, And
I know they're getting older, because when they were younger, remember, they always wanted to ride in the car with me everywhere I went. If I just went to McDonald's to get a Coke, they had to ride with me. Now they're like, okay, bye. I'm like, y'all don't want to ride with me? Remember before I would kind of get annoyed?
Yeah.
I'm like, gosh, I just want peace and quiet. And then now it's like, oh, okay, bye. Bring me back something. And nobody wants to ride with me. But that's how I know, they're getting older.
Yeah, they are. Especially our oldest one is 7. And it's like, I don't know.
Just the changes.
I could just tell a little bit. He's like, I'm like, what's up, buddy? He's like, playing his PlayStation. What's up, Dad? I'm good. I'm like, what's up? You don't want me to sit in here?
That drives me crazy, and my friend, we've discussed this because her daughter is a year older than Lawson, how they care about their outfits. She'll little things that you don't realize that Lawson will not leave the house. I posted this on my Like to Know It on my Instagram. He will only wear those performance leggings, because the football players wear.
Is that do all the kids at school wear that?
Yeah. With shorts, high socks, and a shirt. So today, I always lay out Lawson's clothes, the next day, what he wants to wear. And sometimes I'll throw in a pair of pants to change it up. Because sometimes I'm like, Lawson, you have to wear something else besides these leggings. We rotate. We wear a black pair, a gray pair, a white pair. I had to buy extra pair because some have holes in it, because at school they play football and he gets holes in it. He today changes shorts. I go, no, now you don't match. I go, you have to match. He goes, well, I don't like those shorts. I go, well, put on these pants. No, I want to wear my leggings. And we're upstairs fighting about that. I'm like, just wear what you want. Wear what you want, Lawson. It's not worth it.
I got up early this morning and worked out, and I was like, I'm going to work out nice and peaceful. There's no guilt involved because everybody's sleeping, and I came upstairs and it was chaos. I'm like, what happened up here?
Normally I'm like, I put toothpaste on your toothbrush, and Leighton's like, you didn't lay out my socks. And then Lawson's like, I don't want to wear these. And I'm like, everybody, just get your stuff on.
I know. I was like, I'm going to get up and nice and peace and quiet, help out with breakfast, whatever comes out, and it was already like a tornado.
Lawson comes downstairs, or comes in the room, and he goes, Mom, what time were you up? 5:30?
6.
Okay, so it must have been around that time. I thought it was 5:30 in the morning.
He thought he heard somebody?
He comes in the room and gets me. He goes, Mom, somebody's in the house. And I go, no, there's not. And he goes, Mom, I hear it. Somebody's downstairs. And in my head, I'm like, this is my chance. I'm going to fight somebody.
You? What are you going to do?
Me? If somebody was trying to do something and the kids were, and I had to protect the kids, it's me.
Hold on a second. Somebody's in the house, you're going to go downstairs and confront them?
If somebody
What's in that coffee?
If somebody came and broke in our house, they're coming in upstairs. They're not going to stay downstairs. What do you think? I'm going to have to defend. I'm going to have to tell the boys, go hide. I'm going to have to go to town with somebody.
Get out. Who are you, that guy who's like, I have a special set of skills? Who's that? Who's that guy?
No, but if somebody wasn't, let's say you weren't here, what do you think I'm going to do?
Not attack them. My
They're
guess would
going
be
to attack me, so I have to fight back.
I can see you getting out, like jumping out the window.
No, I push them over the balcony.
Wow. No, wait, who am I thinking of?
What?
Is that Taken? Remember that guy?
Oh, when the girl gets kidnapped and he gets revenge?
Yeah, but now, you know what?
Liam
Neeson. Yeah. That was bothering me. No, you know what movie you like and it's super embarrassing now you just remind me of? When Jennifer Lopez trains to like fight her ex-husband.
Enough.
Exactly, enough. Yeah, you love that movie. You watch it like all the time. Are you getting influence from Jennifer Lopez training?
I love it because she gets revenge and the guy beat her and she just like kills him. I love it. He like beat the mess out of her in the movie and she gets revenge.
You threw me off that you were going to attack the attacker. I've never heard you talk like that.
No, because no, not like attacker, but like if somebody broke in your house and if you were gone and they're coming upstairs, what do you think they're going to do? Excuse me. They're going to probably attack you.
All right, well, no, good for you. I like it. I like to go get them attitude. No, it's nice. But going back to that, I
talk about it with the neighbor wives. I'm like, wouldn't you guys attack? And they're like, oh yeah, my husband already taught me what to do. And then you haven't taught me what to do.
What do you mean? Grab something and crack their coconut. What are you going to do? You're going to give like a 1-2, give a body shot, and then you don't know. What do you mean teach you?
No, I feel like you don't know how tough you are until somebody like tried to
You're exactly right.
Kids.
Oh, yeah.
That's what I'm saying. So if you're in my space and these are my kids, and if somebody was there, you don't know how tough you could be.
We got a good little corner of neighbors here.
Our next door neighbor.
I wish we had like a blowhorn, like come and help. Maybe we should do that. Like each one and be like, brrr, and then like, dude, whoever came in this house would be in trouble.
Our neighbor is a Green Beret. The other neighbors like wrestled in college, and then the one neighbor is just like loaded with guns. And so I laughed one time because I told him, I said, okay, so I got a Green Beret, a wrestler, and someone with guns. I go, what's going to happen? What's Jeff going to do?
Well, what are you talking about? I could crack a coconut or two.
I feel like Jeff would be the one that would be scared, and you would push me in front of the robber.
What are you talking? Wait.
I feel like
you said you haven't been drinking. What's happening here?
I feel like you would push me in front of the robber and like, please just save yourself to give you time to get away.
Oh boy, I'm going out like that. That's how we're going out.
Because I feel like my brother would do that too. He would.
Yeah, of course your brother would do that. I can't believe you compared me to your brother.
No, but the neighbors, we all crack up because we all laugh because we're like, what would Jeff do? I'm like, he would push me in front of the robber and say,
shit.
And the reason why I say that, remember that time my friend Stephanie, we were in California and there was an earthquake, a small one.
Oh, yeah. Well, listen, there's no fighting Mother Nature.
Jeff left me. It was like an earthquake, and she started laughing.
Dude, I ran. I'm like, save yourself. And I took, listen, you can't fight an earthquake. I didn't even know what was happening.
And Jeff took off and was like already heading out the door.
But I didn't even know if that was the right move. They said like get in a doorway or something.
My friend Stephanie said she just woke up and was like, she goes, you guys look like you were dancing in circles.
It's scary. If you've never been in an earthquake, it's crazy.
But I think that's where I get it from.
I almost jumped out the window. I didn't even know what to do.
Yeah. And she goes, what about Jordan? You just left him.
What do you want me to do? Get a piece of like giant cement on my head with you? Like it's Romeo and Juliet? No, I'm out of there.
But that's how I feel. If a robber came, you would just push me in front to save yourself.
No, a robber you could fight. You can't fight a crumbling building.
Yeah, we got...
I'm not going down the Titanic. I'm getting on that door with you. You know what I mean? Yeah, move over. You know what I'm talking about. All right, let's end it there.
We did learn points of interest in our house where our neighbor taught us that, where if somebody was coming, we know points of interest in our house. I don't know. We need to have him on here. It would be so funny because
I'm sure that's exactly what he wants to do. He's a big podcast guy.
No. But he would give he knows stuff. Anyways, okay. That's enough.
Yeah.
We have the best neighbors. Thank you again, everyone, for listening and staying with us for all of our random mess. And thank you for liking, tagging friends, subscribing. Thank you for all your comments. And
hopefully, wish us luck tomorrow at the Great Wolf Lodge.
Hopefully nobody vomits. That's normally what happens.
Yeah, we'll have some good stories hopefully next week to tell you guys. But
yes.
Yeah, thank you for listening, and we'll see you next week.
Have a wonderful week.